President Trump is urging the Justice Department to prosecute his political rivals, including James Comey, Adam Schiff, and Letitia James. Trump posted on Truth Social Saturday night, appearing to be speaking directly to the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. He wrote in part, "Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam, Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now."
Now that post led to speculation online about Bondi's current standing with Trump, even some suggesting that the post was an accident and was meant to be a private message to Bondi. Journalist and author Nick Bryant writes, quote, "Donald Trump's authoritarianism has become so blatant and unabashed that I'm not sure whether this was meant as a Truth Social post or a direct message to Pam Bondi. That's where we are, just 8 months into his presidency."
Senator Rand Paul, in an interview with Meet the Press, was critical of the post. He also accused Democrats, however, of unfairly targeting Trump while Joe Biden was in office.
For lawfare in all forms is bad. What they did to Donald Trump by changing the statute of limitations, changing the law, adding up a bunch of misdemeanors, adding up a bunch of records violations and making them into felonies, approving hundreds of millions of dollars in fines when there was no agreed party, none of the banks complained. That was lawfare. But it's also wrong if Republicans do it too. We need to get politics out of the judicial system as much as we can, but we can't do it without acknowledging that the king of lawfare was Biden. And so, yeah, it's wrong if we do it, but it certainly was wrong when Biden and the Democrats were doing it throughout the country.
See, I appreciate this, but some people will call him a rhino just for telling the truth.
Yeah, I as with the FCC, I agree with Rand Paul, and he's a unusually principled individual, saying he doesn't like when Democrats do it and doesn't like when Trump does it. I don't think this was meant to be a private message. And would he call him Adam Shifty Schiff?
I thought that was a little, the Shifty Schiff threw me off.
I thought that was for the fans. I thought that was for the,
it was like,
the readers. So
but also saying he admitting that it's making them look bad, losing credibility. That's not. He usually doesn't admit like an L too much. He likes to seem like they're winning everything. He'll create a problem and then solve the problem and say, "We solved it in record time."
Is it if Letitia James committed mortgage fraud, or Adam Schiff, or Lisa Cook, or any of these other people, I'm not sure what James Comey is alleged to have done, if anything.
Yes.
What should they? What is the rule? What is the standard?
Right.
They went after
Trump
talk about this. For misrepresenting.
So good you're saying this.
Supposedly what his buildings were worth, even though the bank who got the loan, as Rand said there, did not feel misrepresented. So the government was inventing a crime, even though 2 consenting entities, Trump and the bank, did a financial exchange that no one had any problem with, but the government said, "Oh no, it was wrongful in some way." I'm against that. But you're saying that's how it's conducted and done. Okay, that's how it's conducted and done. Well, then why are these people immune? If they didn't cross all their T's and dot their I's.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if you're Trump's friend, you don't have to be ridiculed in any way when you're doing what could be viewed as illegal stuff. So Tom Homan may or may not have allegedly accepted a $50,000 bribe to do things if Trump became president. And now they're just doing away with that entire case.
There was a report in the media over the weekend.
Yes.
No charges were filed.
Okay, but they're doing away with even looking into it. So why don't look into anyone else then? Don't look into Letitia James because of reports. So either we're looking into everybody or we're looking into nobody. If you're Trump's friend, we don't
Democrats
have to
are looking into Republicans. That's going to happen regardless.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, we have to keep, what is the consistency? You can't complain about how much you were impeached and how many times they looked into things, but then look into everything also. Like, what is his whole entire second presidency is even more than the first about political retribution. And I think that we should want better, as Senator Rand Paul said, in consistency.
I am your retribution.
No,
that's what he said when he was running for president.
Yeah, well, it's a sad day for our country. It's embarrassing.
People wanted it.
It's embarrassing.
The democracy, the system, our system voted for it.
And he has placed...
Our system elected to do a little bit of revenge on
and unfortunately, our system has elected to fill every single department with a bunch of Trump loyalists that basically have things hanging over their head, like whether or not he likes Pam Bondi.
Has anyone ever won an election and then appointed disloyalists?
No, it doesn't have to be, the opposite doesn't have to be disloyal, but they don't have to be blindly loyal, like we saw with RFK. The woman saying, "I need to go off science, not off being your loyalist." And that's the difference. Yeah. People need to go off the law of the land, not off being Trump loyalists.
Put loyal people in positions of power.
No, I think you're minimizing it to like trying to bend the rules into his favor always and not trying to ever. He only only wants to go after political enemies. Like you said, how do you
Biden's
hold
people
Congress?
were so loyal they didn't tell the public that he was no longer capable
No,
of being
that's just his
president.
wife.
That was the level of loyalist.
You hold everyone else to some certain standard, including Congress,
I'm holding
but not
them
the
to
president.
to the Democratic
Why don't you
Party
hold the
standard.
president to the same exact standard and say, listen, everything that you're expecting of Congress to do its job, how about President Trump do his job? He said a lot of things on the campaign trail, like that this Russia war was going to be over, like the
Well, he's
Epstein
trying to end
files
it.
would be released, or all his people did anyway,
His
like the
people
fact that
said
the
that.
economy
That's
would
on
be
them.
fixed by now. People are still hurting. And he's worried about getting back people that got him, like, got him, I'm going to be petty. Like, tell him to worry about something else. You're always talking about Congress being ineffective. This is
Next time I
largely
talk to him,
ineffective.
I'll tell him,
You should give him a
little
call.
less
This is
retribution,
ridiculous.
please,
No,
and more,
I want you just to keep the same energy across the board. He is not doing his job. People don't feel like he's done a whole bunch that's affected them. He's brought up the debt a ton. So how is he doing anything that he said he was going to do on the campaign trail? But you're holding Congress to the standard to be effective. He's not being effective, but you don't mind that he's just going after his political enemies and wasting time doing so and wasting money and resources doing so. Like, you got to be equal. Let's just be fair. And don't say, oh, Republicans dealt with this for so
This is how
long.
we make it equal.
They're trying to get their payback. Like, come on
By
now.
doing to Shifty Schiff what was done to our president. That is how we make it equal. It was becoming equal now. That's what's happening. That's what they want, and that's what the MAGA base wants.
So
That's
you
what
want
they
to
elected
spend
him to
all
do.
of his days trying to
I
get people
want
back,
that
trying to
now.
get Letitia James back. That's what productive use of the president's time.
Girl, you should
That's the
have.
time, girl.
have-
You're gonna
not
call.
have-
I'm gonna call Letitia James and say, Robbie, want me to tell you, girl, don't look into anything.
girled her. I
Don't
girled
look into anything.
Well, it was absurd the charges she brought.
And it's also absurd to accept a bribe and say that the president, Tom
Allegedly.
Homan,
That's what
allegedly,
he's alleged
right,
to.
alleged. I said that multiple times. It's also absurd if that is true.
If he accepted
to accept a bribe,
he should be fired. Or
right.
resigned.
So then let's look into it all, because
There are
what
no
the
charges
government does is make sure that everything is operating and there's no, what they're supposed to do at their best, to make sure that there is no coercion and things like that happening within our government. They balance each other out. So let's just make sure that everyone on
accepted
all
a bribe,
political
he can
sides
be
of the aisle
re-
are playing the game fairly
can
and
be
not
removed
cheating
from
and not
office and then-
lying and not doing things like that and not accepting bribes, right? Let's just make it fair and square.
People should not accept bribes, including
Allegedly.
especially city council members of the District of Columbia, one of which was caught doing just that and was removed from the council and has been defiantly voted back in by the people. Democracy, great system, wonderful system. Just love it so much. More of it, the more the better.
What would you do? You always saying get rid of everything. You hate Congress. You hate everybody. Tell me how you would lead. You just want it to be like a banana republic? How do you like this to go?
I think a constitutional monarchy, extremely constrained by a constitution that mostly we wouldn't have a government. You have a very small government, little bit of national defense, a court system, some police, and then everything else is it's like a night watchman.
That sounds like you want to take some
state.
funding, so defund the police a little bit, because there's a little bit of police. So it seems
have
like
a
you
little
want to.
policing.
Oh, so we bring down what we have. We have a lot of
we
police.
do
now.
everything we could privately. We'd have private police because
that would go well.
You'd have private city. The mall has its own police. It works fine.
And last time I checked, mall cops weren't getting Nobel Peace Prize or awards for all their honorable work. They're probably great at their job, but they're not doing the same thing as police and federal police officers.
There's fantastic private security.
I know private security, but that doesn't mean that they're not implicitly biased or not going through the same training. Who knows what private training is versus our training that's in our local law enforcement? I think it's supposed to be rigorous standards they're held to. And
the standards they're held.
That's what
they do a bad job. Their contract is not renewed. The market is the ultimate decider
I don't think that
who's doing things well and who sucks.
We have more to talk about. Stay with us on Rising, guys.